What's up, guys? Happy baseball. And I know there's a lot of angst with Mark Bowman's projected rosters as pitchers and catchers are reporting this week. For the Braves, it's Wednesday. And I understand we definitely need to add some relievers, in my opinion. I get that. But there's also an interesting ideas of the roster because you've got two guys you got from the Rule 5. Pilar, the right-handed reliever, 92 to 95 from the Miami Marlins, who I think really is going to be a diamond in the rough piece for the bullpen. And just because these guys are not household names does not mean that we don't have a solid bullpen right now. But again, as I've preached this entire offseason, would you like guys with the back of the baseball card and more experience and been there, done that? Yes, because we've been very vocal, or Alex Anthopoulos has, about having a quality bullpen because the game starts from the back to the front. He said that a lot, and he does not want to have another 2019 experience where he had to require 3 relievers to help us in our playoff run that year. So I still think there's a lot of opportunity for additions and movement, and there's a lot of quality guys out there. But let's not discount Pilar at all. I think he could be the real diamond in the rough. Jason Shreve as well. I know, again, it's not flashy. None of it's been flashy this offseason except for the addition of Jerickson Profar to this point. But again, there's still a lot of quality free agents out there. Andrew Chafin, Kenley Jansen, Kyle Finnegan, which he's the most surprising to me that hasn't really gotten any play in terms of even interest or speculation tweets. And this guy had 28 saves last year. So there's still a lot of movement and possibilities that's going to happen. And we all know that Alex Anthopoulos turns over every rock and tries to make the team better no matter what. So I'm not exactly freaking out. I understand that on paper it doesn't look fabulous by any means in terms of what we're used to seeing out of the bullpen as of right now. But a lot of things can change, and Pilar is big. Also, Christian Cairo, we got him in the World 5 draft as well. Shortstop, 23-year-old from Cleveland. But just a refresher on the Rule 5 rules, they both have to stay on our roster all year long, or they have to be offered back to the Miami Marlins or Cleveland Guardians. So those are kind of 2 spots that are kind of locked up right now, and you hope that they have a really good spring training, because if they don't, it kind of puts those 2 positions, which are quality, needed positions, in flux. And even though Alex Anthopoulos can work some magic, he obviously acquired those guys thinking they have a lot of potential to be important pieces to the 2025 puzzle for the Atlanta Braves. Okay, as far as their starting rotation goes, there's a couple of roster guys that you need to know. Grant Holmes and Ian Anderson don't have any options left, so they probably have the inside track to the 4 or 5 rotation spots as the roster stands now. And I'll keep prefacing that because a lot can change. But Grant Holmes was super valuable last year. He's a swingman doing both. And if we put him on waivers or whatever, he'll be snapped up in 5 seconds. Same with Ian Anderson. I know he's dealt with a bunch of injuries and things of that nature, but there was a reason that we selected him 3 overall in the last. He was a key piece in our playoff rotations just 3 and 4 years ago. So let's take a breath there and see how they do in spring training and see which guy takes the bull by the horns. But also a very important factor in the starting rotation is that Spencer Strider's timeline is a lot sooner than I for some reason was thinking. I think it's now late April. They said that he's likely not going to start the season on the opening day roster, which I believe. But if the timeline's late April, that is a lot sooner than I was thinking. So maybe that's why we've been a little hesitant to add to the starting rotation slash bullpen, so to speak. Even though, unfortunately, the Jeff Hoffman deal fell through early this offseason, that would have killed two birds with one stone, and I think everybody would be less angsty about the current roster. But you gotta just kind of move on. And again, there's a lot of quality still on the free agent market, and obviously you see how battles go, but the roster with Grant Holmes and Ian Anderson out of options and Cairo and Pilar, you can't really do anything unless they absolutely just struggle mightily in the spring training. They're more than likely gonna be on your roster. So the roster is kind of tight in terms of what you can do at addition wise. I mean, obviously, if there's an addition that you can't pass up, they will figure it out. Maybe a Luke Williams or a Nick Allen or something of that capacity gets cut for something better, and I doubt that Alex Anthopoulos is going to stop. He always turns over every rock. So I'm not necessarily worried, but however the roster shakes out on opening day, it changes in a flash. So, and plus, let's not forget, starting pitching, if you're doing it in a trade market or whatever, it costs an arm and a leg. So you got to be careful with that as well. But I think guys without options, you especially like Ian Anderson or Grant Holmes, those guys could be parts of a trade if you find something that helps you now and in the future, if I'm being honest. So again, there's a lot of questions, and our roster is still really good because you still got Raisel Iglesias, Pierce Johnson, Dylan Lee, Aaron Bummer. And again, there's like a lot of guys that aren't household names, but that does not mean there can't be quality for the Atlanta Braves. We've seen us get a lot of diamonds in the rough in our history, so I'm not going to press the panic button just yet because I know how Alex Anthopoulos works. You all do too. So let's just be happy that pitchers and catchers are reporting, and then we're going to hear gloves snapping and pitchers throwing, and the injury timelines not terrible at all, which is a fantastic thing, and I can't wait to get this completely rolling. But as always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.